All right, in today's video we're going to work on integers and specifically 6.3D. Add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers fluently, and again, fluently just means to be able to do it really, really well. All right, so our first question is from the 2016 STAR test. A team of 4 players competed in a golf contest. The name and the scores of the players on the team are shown in the table. The team's score is the sum, and the sum is the addition, or the answer to an addition problem. The team score is the sum of all the scores in the table. What is the team score? Now, this isn't in the question, but just keep in mind in golf, in a lot of sports, you want a really high score. In golf, you want a low score. And if it's a negative score, that's a really good score. So just keep that in mind. But again, they're not asking about that, okay? So they want the sum. So on this problem, we're going to have to add all these numbers up together. So let's start off with negative 2 plus 3. As you know, if we have one number that's positive and one number that's negative, we're going to take the absolute value of the greater number. The absolute value of the greater number is 3. So 3, and we're going to subtract it by the number with the lesser absolute value, which is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. And then is our answer, is it positive or negative? Sum on this one, this would be positive. Why? Because 3 is positive, and it is greater value, greater absolute value. So 1 is positive. So I'm done with negative 2 and 3. Then I'm going to add, as I'm adding, negative 4. And I can rewrite this as just 1 minus 4. It means the same thing. So either 1 plus 4, 1 plus negative 4, or 1 minus 4. So on this problem, similar to the previous one, I have one number that's positive, 1, and one number that's negative, 4. What do you do then? You take the number with the greater absolute value, negative 4, because the absolute value of negative 4 is 4. And again, I'm sure you're aware, an absolute value is the distance a number is from 0. So how far would negative 4 be from 0? 4 spaces away from 0. You can't travel a negative distance. Absolute value is always positive. Let's go back. 1 plus negative 4. So we're going to take negative 4. The absolute value of negative 4 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. Now, is this going to be positive or negative? Well, let's go back to our number with the greater absolute value, which is 4. It is negative, so this is negative. All right, now I'm done with negative 4. Let's go to plus negative 1. Now this one's easy because they are both negative. Negative signs in front of them. Plus and negative just means I could rewrite this as negative 3 minus 1. That's a minus 1. Okay. If they're both negative, this is easy. We add them up and our answer stays negative. And you've done that so long because if they were both positive, you would add them up and your answer would be positive. If they're both negative, you add them up. Your answer is, oh, not negative 3. Nope. Your answer would be negative 4. Let's see, is there an option with negative 4? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So the answer is H. Awesome. All right, let's go to our next question. Teacher wrote this expression on the board, and they want us to solve it. So notice we have multiplication, negative 6, parentheses, and then a 2 in parentheses. Two numbers next to one another, that means to multiply. And then we have an addition plus, parentheses, negative 8 divided by 4. Now, obviously, you would multiply first, then divide. But we do have a parentheses on this problem, and the parentheses is right here. Mr. Hewlett, aren't these parentheses? Well, technically, yes, but they're just indicating that you're multiplying. So, but within this parentheses right here, I actually have an operation, which is to divide. But let me finish this. Divide, add, and subtract. Both of these are from left to right. Left to right. Okay. So we have to do our parentheses first. Okay. So I'm going to divide negative 8 by 4. Negative 8 divided by 4. So I know 8 divided by 4 is 2, but a negative divided by positive is negative. So I'm going to rewrite what I have left. Negative 6, parentheses, which is ultimately just multiplying, and then addition, and then negative 2. because negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. And so what do I do next? Do I add or do I multiply? Obviously, I'm going to multiply because that's higher up. Then addition and subtraction. Negative 6 times 2. Well, I know 6 times 2 is 12. And I also know a negative divided by, or negative times a positive. Negative times a positive is a negative. And then what am I left with? Negative 12 plus negative 2. What do I do at this point? Well, they are both negative. Of course, like the previous problem, what do you do if they're both negative? You add them up, and your answer is negative. If I used a number line, I would start off at 0, go 12 left, and then go 2 more to the left, and I'd end up at negative 14. Okay. So if I were to bubble this in, I would make sure that I would put this in the ones place, this in the tens place, and usually, not usually, but you're going to have 2 bubbles on the far left, one's positive, one's negative. Make sure if your answer is negative, bubble in that negative dot. So again, the answer to this one was negative 14. All right. Next question. Ellie played a math game and had the 5 cards shown. 7, 0, negative 4, 2, and negative 10. What was the sum of these 5 cards? So I need to find the sum, and again, the sum needs to add. So we're just going to go in order from left to right. That's the easiest way to do it. Add these numbers up and see what we get. So 7 plus 0 is kind of easy. I know it's 7. 7 plus negative 4. I can add negative 4, or I can just do 7 minus 4. Either way, I'm going to get 3. Okay, so I'm done with this. Then I'm going to add 3 plus 2. I'm going to get somewhere around 5, I think. And then 5 plus negative 10, or 5 minus 10. One number is positive, one number is negative. I take the number with greater absolute value, negative 10. The absolute value of negative 10 is 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. Is it positive 5 or negative 5? I'd go back. My greater number was negative. Therefore, my answer was negative. Mr. Hewlett, why is it negative? Think about it this way. What if I had $5, but I owed you 10? Well, I could pay you the $5, but I would still owe you $5. That's why our answer is negative 5. So our answer should be C. All right. Oh, well, looks like that is my last problem on 6.3D. Add, subtract, multiply, and divide with integers fluently. Again, pay attention to the rules on integers. I have several videos on adding and subtracting, multiplying, and dividing with integers. Pay attention to the rules. Pay attention to the question, what are they exactly they're asking for? And just take it step by step. Don't try to rush through any of this. And please don't be afraid to check your work with the calculator. So one thing I'm going to say, like if you're doing 5 plus negative 10, the way you would enter this in the calculator, you would hit 5, addition, and now for the negative 10, you're not going to hit the subtract button, you're going to hit the negative button. And where is the negative button? It depends upon the calculator. Just ask your parents or look it up online. But I would, if I were doing 5 plus negative 10, I would just hit 5, addition, and then hit the negative button, 10, and then enter. If I rewrote it as 5 minus 10, I could hit it just 5, subtract button, 10, enter, and both of those, if I entered them correctly, it should give me negative 5. So I hope this has helped. If you have any additional questions or concerns, feel free to email me at jhewlett@leisd.ws. Thanks, and have a great day.